Every day, we repeat a series of actions almost automatically. These actions, seemingly small, are part of our habits. However, we do not always succeed in incorporating new habits that bring us closer to our goals. Understanding how habits are formed, maintained, and transformed is key to developing a more organized, healthy, and fulfilling life. Atomic habits, as defined by James Clear, are small daily behaviors that, when strategically modified, can generate significant and lasting changes in our lives. The central idea is that small improvements, even just 1% each day, accumulate over time and produce extraordinary results, similar to compound interest applied to our actions and decisions. Habits not only determine what we do, but also who we are and who we become. For this reason, any effective attempt at change must consider the relationship between identity, processes, and outcomes. Our identity is formed by beliefs about ourselves and our capabilities. Processes are the systems and routines we follow, and outcomes are the tangible consequences of our habits. Sustainable change requires acting from the inside out. First, transform identity, then improve processes, and finally achieve the desired outcomes. Defining who we want to be and aligning our habits with that identity allows us to create a virtuous cycle in which daily practice reinforces our self-perception and, in turn, drives the adoption of consistent habits. Each habit can be broken down into a 4-step pattern that explains how it is formed and how it can be modified. The first step is the cue, the stimulus that triggers the behavior and anticipates the reward. It can be an event, an object, or a memory that automatically activates the action. The second step is craving, the motivation that turns the cue into an impulse to act. Desires and emotions are the fuel that drives our response. The third step is the response, the action itself, whose effort should be balanced with the available motivation. The fourth step is the reward, the benefit or satisfaction we obtain upon completing the action, which reinforces the habit and teaches the brain to repeat it in the future. Understanding this cycle allows us to identify points of intervention to modify or build habits effectively. To deliberately transform habits, Clear proposes 4 laws corresponding to each stage of the habit pattern. The first law, make it obvious, focuses on the cue. Identifying the signals that trigger our habits allows us to enhance positive ones and reduce negative ones. Adjusting the environment so that desired cues are prominent facilitates the adoption of new habits. For example, keeping healthy foods in plain sight or designating a specific space for reading or exercising makes the habitual practice a more natural and accessible action. Additionally, planning when and where a habit will take place, known as implementation intentions, significantly increases the likelihood of success by being specific and tangible. The second law, make it attractive, relates to craving. Increasing motivation to perform a habit can be achieved through habit stacking, combining tasks we need to do with activities we enjoy. In this way, the habit becomes more desirable and easier to integrate into daily routines. Social context also plays a role. Surrounding ourselves with people who practice the same habits or share similar goals reinforces motivation and creates an environment that supports consistency. Reframing the perception of a habit, transforming the task into an opportunity for pleasure or growth, helps maintain interest and sustained participation. The third law, make it easy, relates to the response. Reducing friction between intention and action makes repeating the habit easier. Simplifying processes, removing obstacles, and automating behaviors increase the likelihood of success. Technology can be an ally by providing reminders, progress tracking, and organizational tools. Likewise, applying the 2-minute rule allows a habit to start very small. Overcoming initial inertia, beginning with minimal actions and gradually expanding them, ensures continuity and avoids frustration associated with excessive expectations. The fourth law, make it satisfying, corresponds to the reward. A sense of achievement and positive reinforcement consolidates habits over time. Establishing immediate rewards, tracking progress, and maintaining consistent monitoring allows the brain to associate the action with pleasure, increasing the likelihood of repetition. Habit tracking, through journals, apps, or calendars, provides tangible feedback that reinforces consistency. Accountability, by sharing goals and progress with others, also enhances habit adherence. Prioritizing consistency over perfection, accepting occasional mistakes, and quickly resuming practice without discouragement is essential. To maintain long-term motivation and avoid complacency, it is necessary to apply advanced habit management techniques. The Goldilocks rule states that habits should present an appropriate challenge, neither too easy, which causes boredom, nor too difficult, which leads to frustration. Gradually adjusting difficulty maintains interest and ensures consistent commitment to action. Identifying the optimal zone of difficulty allows us to stretch our abilities without losing motivation, promoting continuous development. Another crucial aspect is awareness of complacency. Automatic habits can lead to routine and reduce attention to our actions. Seeking external feedback, participating in communities, or consulting mentors helps identify areas for improvement and maintain a growth mindset. Reflecting on the relevance and effectiveness of adopted habits ensures they remain aligned with our goals and identity, avoiding stagnation and promoting constant adaptation. Finally, mastery of habits requires implementing systems of review and continuous improvement. This involves periodically evaluating our habits, analyzing results, and making adjustments based on the information gathered. Measuring progress through objective data, such as productivity metrics, study habits, or health routines, allows us to identify patterns, optimize behavior, and make informed decisions. Scheduling regular reviews, experimenting with new strategies, and adjusting the approach ensures that habits evolve alongside personal growth. The true power of atomic habits lies in the constant accumulation of small improvements. It is not about radical overnight transformations, but about consistency and deliberate intention. Habits aligned with identity, reinforced by a structured system, and continuously evaluated produce lasting and sustainable results. Adopting this approach allows the construction of habits that improve health, relationships, finances, and productivity, forming a lifestyle consistent with our values and objectives. In conclusion, understanding the mechanics of habits, from cue to reward, and applying the laws of behavior change consciously and systematically, provides a powerful tool for personal transformation. The combination of incremental improvement, identity alignment, process simplification, positive reinforcement, and continuous review enables the development of effective and sustainable habits. This approach emphasizes that success is not a destination, but a system that is constantly refined. Atomic habits demonstrate that lasting change is possible when small daily actions are executed with consistency, attention, and purpose, generating a cumulative impact that profoundly and meaningfully shapes our lives.